So,
Wow.
we are live. Hey, Joss. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Neuro D. What's up? Thanks for joining us. We are just going to let everybody filter in for a minute. Yeah. Um, excuse my coughing. As per normal. I did take a nice big hit before the show began. So we are going to do fuck, Mary, swipe. You can't chat. No, that's fine, Neuro D. No problem. No. So let's see. And now, I'm not going to use her. No. Yeah. Okay. What we're going to do is fuck, Mary, swipe. And we're going to talk. We'll of course do this fuck, Mary, swipe. Autumn, do you have your laptop or something ready to look these people up?
Yeah, actually, I had them on my phone, but for some reason it just pulled the pictures and not the names.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'll need names.
All right,
so I can
2 seconds.
Yeah, no, take your time. Actually, just really take your time because I'm logging names too as people come in. Hey, Noel. As people come in, we'll get started.
Right.
No. Let's see. I am not putting JoJo Siwa in here. I don't care what anybody says. That person annoys me. I don't know their pronouns, so I'm going to say them, but I can't do it.
Don't even know who they are.
JoJo Siwa? They are from Dance Moms. Dance Moms? No, Dance something. They were a Dance something. Yeah. And then they grew up and became an even more catty Dance something. And then they were like lesbian for like a minute and then went to like a guy. So I guess they're bi they're pan.
Okay.
Is what they are. So, yeah. So I'm not going to besmirch that because, come on, we don't do that around here. So how have you been doing? Like as we're getting everything set.
Oh my gosh, it has been a exhausting but good week. I am working on 3 to 4 stories, and I have 3 interviews coming up in the next 2 days. So.
OMG, that sounds like a lot of work.
Yes.
Are your interviews, are they like hard hitting interviews, or are they like light, or are they frothy?
So it normally varies based on just the project I'm working on. So this week is going to be kind of a little bit of both. So I will be interviewing the Safer Workers Coalition here in Portland, and they are a organization that focuses on trans individuals that are in sex work, and help them with supplies, living needs, resources, things like that. So really cool organization, but they're struggling with funds, obviously, because of the Trump administration.
Right. Yeah. That's too bad because they're doing the good work.
Okay.
Well, that sounds good. I'm going to pull up one more person because I think, I don't know how many people I have, but there we go. Perfect.
Okay. So
take your time because I want to ask you. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I am just struggling to type here. I'm tired.
Take your time. We don't really have to rush through this at all.
See, I'm used to having 48 minutes on the radio.
We don't. Yeah, we're not going to time this. We can just keep on talking.
Okay.
When I did have my radio show in college, I had like an hour show. But then I was lucky enough to get a nighttime slot where I got to play deep cuts. So I was just playing everything I wanted to play, and it was one of the most popular shows, in the little university area. So, but it just goes to show that if you play deep cuts and not just the same, we have a radio station in Atlanta called 99X. Now, it was popular in the 90s. It came out in like the late 80s, early 90s, and it was the switch. There was one day it was like top 40 music, top 40 pop. And the very next day it was Nirvana, the Smiths, Soundgarden, Pearl Jam. I know I'm leaving people out. Screaming Trees. It was this very palpable switch. And it was so unbelievable. But then they played the same damn songs over and over. So, and I'm like, okay, these bands are great. I know all of their music, but they've got better music than what you're playing. You're playing the hits. So fast forward to now, they were off the air. Now, fast forward to about 5 years ago, they come back, same fucking thing. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna play new shit. So they play new shit, but it's really the same old shit. And it's basically the stuff you hear in the grocery store now, which is horrible. And like I would never, like I guess I'm happy I lived long enough to hear the music I like in the grocery store, but
I'm going to ignore that. I always told myself if I ever go in the store and I hear Disturbed, like I'm going to have a moment. And I heard a Disturbed song. It wasn't like one of their heavy ones, but it was still Disturbed. I'm like, I'm getting old.
Right. Let's see. Give me just a minute. I'm going to have to tell my little friend that I am in a live real quick. Let's see. Hi in podcast time. Okay. Sorry about that. So let's see. What tell me a little bit about yourself, because I don't really know you all that well.
Sure. So I was born and raised in Texas.
Where?
Originally in a small town just outside of San Antonio called Schertz. SCHERTZ.
Wait, SCHERTZ. Schertz. Okay, I was born in San Antonio.
Oh, yeah. Awesome! Yeah, I was born downtown at University Medical.
Okay, I was born at Fort Sam Houston.
Cool. Nice. Yeah, I served at Fort Sam. I was in the service for about a year. I got in a really bad car wreck.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I walked away. Maybe, I look at it was like probably meant to be,
Well, yeah, if you walked away, yeah.
All right, so I have 2 rounds.
Okay. So I have a bunch of names. I just have a bunch of names. That's why I was like, you may have to start looking these up. I'm going to have to look these up. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then I have, I think 1, 2. So, no. Okay. 1, 2. Yeah. So, but yeah. So what else? Let's see. Samantha.
Yeah, so I got my show on KXRW September of last year. Okay. And actually met Samantha hanging out at a couple of events I was doing at the Underbar. And then we started just hanging out on a regular basis. And she ended up getting involved with our radio station. And then I found out about her podcast. So, we started doing our fun little Sunday show we do.
Right. So it's cool, we're outside of Substack world. Let's see. So let me ask you this. What do you just said you put on events, right?
That was actually a radio station fundraiser we were doing. So when Republicans shut down the government last year, and people were going without their food benefits, we did a month-long food drive through the station, and we raised like 3,200 pounds worth of food. But
wow.
just in a 2-hour drag bingo event, we managed to bring in like almost $2,000 in funds as well.
That is great. That is great. What a way to give back to the community. That's awesome.
So, and unfortunately, Vancouver doesn't really have the queer scene yet. Like, that's something that we have like 2 spaces now. We have the Underbar, and there's a brand new venue that just opened. It's kind of a community get together called Our Third Space, but Vancouver still has a very heavy MAGA population, so it can be challenging.
So I did not know that. For some reason, I thought this was a rather liberal or just more progressive part of.
Washington as a whole is, but it's crazy because Vancouver is actually the home of the Proud Boys.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So they're just strolling down the street, or?
I actually ran into, I'm pretty sure he was one of them a few weeks ago. I still smoke occasionally, and I was out having a cigarette on the sidewalk, and this guy just flipped on me, coming out, yelling at me, charging across the yard. And it was because he didn't want his kids to see a trans woman.
I
was go ahead. I was joking with Samantha about it at the time, and I was like, we were talking about getting a protest together of just drag queens and trans girls and just having cigarettes on the sidewalk, kind of making a statement,
Right. It's strange to me that a person wouldn't want. Okay, so you yourself don't want to see trans people, fine, but then you're going to pass this on down to the next generation, your children, this kind of hate, and they're either going to have to go through some therapy and a lot of self work, or they're going to be self-hating, trans, and closeted trans people, or self-hating closeted queer people.
And that's exactly what they go through. I can tell you firsthand because I grew up like ultra Republican conservative.
Wow. Okay.
I was a fundamental Baptist for 33 years, and that was
OMG. Okay.
Yeah,
did not know this.
That was a challenge, being a trans woman inside and trying to figure out life. But
right.
The thing is, they teach you at such like it frustrates me so bad because they always accuse the queer community of, oh, you're grooming the kids, the kids, and I'm like, you know what, BS. I went to church. You were grooming us at 4 years old to hate our neighbors and had us singing songs about we're Christian soldiers, and they teach you to dehumanize people at such a young age.
Right.
It's horrible.
Right. Yeah, no, I know. So I I did go to church when I was younger. I went to church all the way up until 16. So I participated in like vacation Bible schools and lock-ins and, all the things that you do in church.
Did you have Awana?
A what?
Awana. Do you remember Awana?
No, what is that?
It was a like kids club group that it was nationwide for like Christian groups.
Wait, what is it called?
Awana.
No.
It was like when you
no.
were super young, they had like homework books you had to do and then take back to church.
Oh, no. Thankfully, no. But my point about all of this is the sermons. I actually enjoyed some of the sermons. They're now the damnation aside, some of them were really good, and when extrapolated from all of the bullshit, there were a lot of good lessons.
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, when I came out, I still lived a lot of those values because I was never a judgmental person. Like, I used to get so much crap because I didn't care if you were gay. I didn't care who you were. Like, I was like, whatever, you can still hang out with me. I don't care. And,
I wonder why that was.
Well, so, and I used to get so much grief for it, but, I also had an amazing friend circle. And I chose, when I was in the religion, I looked at the text, and my takeaway was the story of Christ and the love that he showed and the radicalism that he showed. I mean, he was talking to women in early Palestine, like that was unheard of. Like, he revealed himself to a woman first. There's evidence that, there were books that should have been in the Bible that were written by women, and there's even theories that, go down a rabbit hole as far as the relationship between John and Jesus and why that gospel's so drastically different. And, that was what I took away from the whole thing was I'm supposed to love my neighbor. And I lived my life like that. And then when I came out, like, it was horrible. I had one of my aunts literally called me an abomination. And I just walked away. I was like, you know what? No. And I kind of denounced Christianity at that point, because that version of Christianity is all I knew. And I was like, well, if that's Christianity, then you know what? I'm going to prove that I can do this without a God.
Yeah. This is so it's kind of strange because for me, it's strange because I have met on Substack more people who have gone through this religious like stronghold, like chokehold, and I don't know. I just find it strange, and the only reason I find it strange is because I was like, no more. I can't do this, and my family hated that at 16, absolutely hated it. But I insisted. Like I said, I still like sermons for the most part. I like it when they are less preachy and more moral of the story is, Yeah.
Right. And, that's something I'm working on right now. I'm doing this in-depth religious series because I had a friend come up to me after I accepted the proclamation for Trans Day of Remembrance last year and gave a speech at the event. And, they were struggling with their faith and they're asking me of all people about that. And I was like, I don't know if I'm the one you want to ask about this, but it was such an amazing event because, I was the main speaker and then the the MC was a man that went by the name of Pastor Byron Harris. And as soon as I heard pastor, I was like, are you sure you want me up here? Like, this might not go well. And this man came out and he had his nails painted and he had pearls on. And he was like, you see these pearls don't have a gender. This nail polish doesn't have a gender. And
That's
then he went on and he used the story of transfiguration with Christ and called Christ trans. And I was like, okay. And he was a leader of a Methodist church. So, out of courtesy I found out later that his church literally sponsored this entire Trans Day of Visibility event. So I went to just be respectful on Sunday and show my appreciation and check out his church. And we had like an hour and a half conversation after his service. And we were, at the time I was just starting to get into Wicca. And, we were talking about the similarities in spirituality. And I learned the Christianity that I thought I knew was a very small portion of Christianity.
Okay. So that means I'm missing this whole branch of Christianity. Although, is it more like Gnosticism or?
So there's certain groups like the Methodist, the Episcopalian. They look at it as more of a metaphoric story and not so literal, like they still believe in science and trans people are welcome in church. And it's crazy. It's a 180 from, the hellfire and brimstone that I grew up in Texas with.
Right. That is an interesting take on church. I've never really been to a church like that or and had a belief like that. There are similarities in Wicca, yeah, but those similarities also pop up in Egyptian work, and probably to a certain extent Celtic work, because so.
I mean, yeah, I do. I practice energy, and I'm also a psychic, and
Okay. What when you say psychic, what kind are you? Is it clairaudience? Like you see, do you have visions when you sleep, or like you see?
I get premonitions. I have visions when I sleep. Yeah, actually, I had a past life experience for the first time about 8 months ago. That was interesting.
Oh wow! Okay.
And this was I know you have a little background in this, and it's just that muscle memory. Once you kind of play with it, you learn it.
Right. And I have never done a past life, so
really?
Yeah, no.
This one was really cool because I was a priestess and the scenario that it happened. I mean, I was playing around, and every time I had an instance like this, it was because I just have this knack for like pushing it. Right, I'm that troublemaker. So I went to my first seance, and
I
was kind of testing my mentor because I was like, yeah, whatever. I haven't, I've been a paranormal investigator for 20 years. I've never been able to talk to a ghost. So I go in all cocky in this seance, and then I feel a cold chill on my right elbow. And at the same time, my mentor is just like pale white. And she's like, Autumn, Anubis is behind you. And I'm like, the Egyptian god? And like I said, the same time my elbow is going cold and frozen. Right. And I went home that night, and that was my first, I was starting to learn how to lucid dream, and that was my first past life regression. I was a priestess in a temple.
Okay. That is interesting. And in how long were you? So, how long was it? In other words,
it wasn't very long, but it was so intense. Like I remember every feeling in detail.
So, here's the thing. I have 3 specific dreams that I remember everything. And I can tell you right now, and I've had these dreams for these 3 dreams for at least 3 decades, at least. And I can interact with the people in these dreams. Mm-hmm. I can talk to them. I can play pool with them. It's kind of crazy. It really is a strange thing. And I like one of them's in San Francisco. I have never been to San Francisco, by the way. It's really strange.
So what's the setting? Do you like what's the
So two of them are houses. The one in San Francisco is a house that's on top of like workspace.
Okay.
Not workspace, but like not workspace, but kitchens, not kitchens, but restaurants. Restaurants. That's what I'm talking about. And it's like orange. The house is orange, and it's almost on a hill, like the top of a hill. So there are 2 stories, and you go into, and the way I go in is I have to go up a set of ladders. Well, it's a ladder that's on the side of the building. So I climb up the ladder, and then I enter the room, and then there's this real big room with, and usually there's a lady or a couple ladies, and there's a baby and a dog. So yeah, and I'll talk to the ladies, and I'll like coochie coochie coo on the baby, and then like talk to the dog, and then I'll just make my way through the house and talk to certain people and play some pool, listen to some music, and
that is amazing. Like, yeah, oh man, like you're giving me chills because let me tell you, my Egyptian experience, like. That is when I need my gender euphoria. I ground to that energy because like I see the altar in front of me and I'm like turning around and I look down and I'm in this beautiful white gown. I have a golden breastplate and olive skin, long black hair. And I walk out of this like interior of this temple into the sunlight overlooking Egypt. And I've never been to Egypt.
Okay. Yeah. Now, see, isn't this crazy? Yeah. It is just
and people are like, "Oh, you've seen it on TV," and I'm like, "Tell me why I feel the heat hit me."
Right. Yeah, exactly. People just, it can't be explained, and people don't believe. So that's the thing. People just don't believe until it happens to them.
Well, nobody listened to me in Christianity because I saw things when I was young. I mean, I predicted a death in a house when I was 11 years old because the ghost was terrifying me.
Right.
And, it freaked my dad out because I was there working on the job site alone. I think 11 or 12. And I heard this really labored breathing and like walking through the house, but it sounded mad. And I literally ran out into the garage because I thought somebody had broken into the house, and it got to the threshold in the kitchen and stopped. Right. And we found out 2 weeks later that a man had died of like asthma related complications in that house.
That's the heavy labored breathing. Okay.
But it was so counterproductive the way that version of Christianity handled it, because they're sitting there telling me that I'm gifted and God's got a purpose for me, and then every time I had an encounter like that, they accused me of playing with the occult.
Right, like, witch, you should be stoned.
Right, I'm like, I thought this was a gift. Aren't you going to show me how to use it?
Right, the most hypocritical thing. This is such a gift, but you can't use it. So,
and then. Yeah, after I came out, like it was a evolving journey, and this is funny. It led to how I came up with my show name. But after I came out, I was actually on a professional paranormal team, part of TAPS, the original Ghost Hunters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they have chapters throughout the entire country, and I was in the Oregon, Washington chapter, and we got to go to some amazing places, but obviously being a budding witch and going to paranormal locations, it was like every location, my name was in the evidence. Oh, Autumn was around when this happened. Autumn was around when this happened. And it finally came down to, again, I was just being a smartass one day at a Wiccan bazaar, and I was messing with my director, and I was like, "What do you think about tarot cards?" And he's like, "You know me, I'm a skeptic. I don't know, you know." I'm like, "I'm gonna go do a reading." Worst mistake of my life.
Oh shit! Why?
Because so this is how I met my best friend Kat, and she's trying to get me to join this coven. I'm not about organized religion, so I'm just like, I don't know, I'll fill it out.
Okay. But I don't worry about that. Yeah.
But anyway, you know, she was the first one that did my reading, and she told me, and I was sick at the time. I didn't know what I was dealing with. And she was like, next year is going to be the worst year of your life.
Really? Joy.
And I'm thinking, whoa, wait a minute. Like, I literally have a radio show. I'm dealing with an unknown sickness. I've gone through 21 years of trauma. What you going to hit me with, right?
Right.
And no, 25 was the worst year of my life. But also at that point, I guess that was my awakening, because from what I heard from multiple people, like the energy I projected into that room, I confused about 30 witches.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I was like, my bad.
Yeah. So, I mean, as we discussed a little bit that I was initiated into an Alexandrian coven. And you know, the Alexandrians were, you know, split off from Gardnerians. Gardnerians, the original Wiccan coven from Old Forest and Gerald Gardner and all that good stuff. But you know, the difference between Alexandrians and Gardnerians basically is that Alexandrians use ceremonial magic, Kabbalah, and Egyptian magic, and we are encouraged to, outside of coven work, use our own gods, goddesses, whatever we may use. And that's what makes it different from Gardnerian. Gardnerian is more nature worship, you know, and while Alexandrianism is too. It is also focused on, you know, the ceremonial side.
See, how did you deal with the ceremonial part? Because
I didn't like it.
Okay, I was going to say, after being a Christian, I could not get back into something that was like ceremonial.
Did not like it. Yeah. I am not a ceremonial musician. I don't like high magic. I do not. It just, no, I don't like it. I have all the texts. I can do some of it. I just don't like it. You know, there's a lot of things I did not like about coven work. One of the smaller things, and because this is not a big thing at all, but it's one of the smaller things, was like there's this thing called being skyclad, and of course that is just being naked. But you know, that's being naked with people that I don't know in the beginning, you know, and you know, so you know, me and Egg were like, you know, and like it's supposed to build this intimacy between everybody, but everybody was just like really like,
Yeah, see, I was talking to another practitioner, and we were talking about possibly doing a ritual, and they brought up the same comment about, you know, maybe getting naked or whatever. And I'm like, whoa, what are we doing here? Like,
yeah.
I don't know about all that. Like, I didn't sign up for that.
Right. Like, you know, yeah. So there are some things like, I don't know. There are some things there's a lot of stuff I can't say, which is why I'm trying to find my way around this stuff.
No, I totally understand.
But you know, like third degree stuff. I don't know if you know about the degree system and how it works. You know, that stuff is a lot of times not metaphorical. Let's say it like that. So. You know, we were just like, we have to dip, y'all. So that was it. We left and have not done coven work since, and will not do coven work ever again. No.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm kind of working side by side with this coven because, I tend to just like draw people that need my help and help them through stuff.
Right,
But,
right.
I've told people this and I even joked about it like, oh my God, my first episode on my show, if you ever get a chance and you want to be a little triggered, like my friend Jason that used to be on the paranormal team, he's the one that got my foot in the door at the radio station. And
Right.
I'm a Virgo. I plot everything. I write out scripts, and then I just wasn't feeling my first show. And he's helping me out in the studio because it's my first time playing in the studio.
Right.
And I looked at him. I was like, "We're just gonna swing this."
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
"All right." And he's like, "Any questions off the limits?" And I'm like, "Nope. We're gonna have fun with it. Let me go have a cigarette."
Right.
And I went through an hour of probably hearing every triggering question that a trans person ever hears.
You were like, oh, great.
And I was in on it,
Right.
like there was literally one part where he was talking about, gender affirming care and surgery. And he's like, so Autumn, like really, people want to know, how do you approach that? Like, is it hanging or is it not hanging? I'm like, wow. And,
here's the thing. There are times where I don't have a problem answering those questions, like as long as they're coming respectfully, because I know people want to know and they're just too afraid to ask, and
that's kind of how I treated that first episode. Like Jason and me are cool as hell. I mean, I feel like he's an older brother. And I also wanted to depict the trans experience because that's what we go through.
Right.
And I mean, it was great. We got an FCC warning on the first episode. So, hey.
That's good.
But I kind of went off on a rabbit trail there. But I was telling Jason in my first show because he was asking me about being a witch. And we didn't talk a lot about it. But, I told him, I was like, that's why I identify as a witch, because I am a solo practitioner. Okay. I have my spirituality.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Right. And even before I started with a coven, I had been practicing by myself, solo practitioner. After coven work, I was done with that. I stopped everything for a couple of years. I was like, I'm going to take out all my piercings. I'm just going to sit back and relax. So I took out all my piercings. I chilled. I didn't do much in the work of meditation or anything like that, energy work, nothing. And then I don't know what happened. It just hit me at that I needed to be doing this. So, and I think it was because I was beginning to feel again, I had numbed myself, and then like I was coming out of it. So I was beginning to feel again. And my sense of picking up on energy was getting stronger. And that was, necessitating that I start switching my life around a bit.
Yeah, I try to use a lot of my energy work in activism. That's where I manifest it, whether I'm in a protest or on the air, because it's those little things that we can do for society and for our culture.
Right. Well, like you said, I actually have people who come to me, and for help. It is one of the things that you said you are known for. It's one of the things that I am known for, and I take that role seriously. It is not something I take lightly. I feel like I am a person who is there to help people. And I just don't have a degree, and that's it. And you don't have to pay me. I'm here to help people. And so as a consequence, I do get people coming to me, and I do have, I'm good at keeping secrets. There are things that need to be kept, but things that people need to get out, to someone who will keep their secrets. And, And that being said, I have someone that I can talk to. It's not like just one way. Because I can't just bottle everything out. But I don't give away anyone's secrets. I talk about myself, and how I feel after talking to them.
Well, and that's the beautiful thing, and probably I would say the biggest misunderstanding about our belief is like what it can do for mental health.
Right. Yeah.
Like learning to ground, learning to meditate.
Right. So I do meditate twice a day now, which is something that I've gotten back into. And it's not long. It's not like I'm meditating for hours. It's like 15, 20 minutes. And in the morning it's like 10 minutes, maybe. But the point is, so I found my way into another structured spirituality, which I'm probably going to have to hop out of very soon. I feel myself moving away from it. I am. It's called Ifa, and it's a religion of Western Nigeria, Southern Nigeria, Togo and Benin in Africa, but it's made its way across, through the slave trade. It's made its way to the United States and Brazil and Colombia and Cuba, Santeria. So and yeah. So
I'm gonna have to look that up. That one I don't know, but I love any culture that comes out of Africa. Like it is so beautiful.
Yeah, well, yeah, thank you. I love it. So do you know anything about the Orisha, like Oshun or Oya?
No, the only thing I know is just the basic about voodoo, hoodoo, and the variations there and ties into Haiti.
Voodoo is what split off from Ifa. It's where the people landed. So the people who landed in Haiti and then in Louisiana, that's where hoodoo. I'm not hoodoo. That is where voodoo is. Mm-hmm. The people who landed in like Brazil, that's where candomblé is. The people who landed in Cuba, in that area, that's where Santeria is. So they are all variations of Ifa. It's just they all split off to worship the Orisha, and it's not even really worship. I shouldn't say worship, but devote their lives to the Orisha different ways. And Orisha they are developments and embodiments of the spirits of nature. And so, because at its base, it is a nature religion and a religion of alignment with one's destiny. It is not. So when people think of Ifa or voodoo, they think of all these crazy things. It is not. Now, there are ritual things, yes, but that is something that in the United States, it is not widely understood, or, so, when people think of Ifa or think of voodoo or think of hoodoo, which hoodoo is a completely separate thing. Hoodoo is, by the way, is a closed practice. White people, any other person except for Black people can't practice hoodoo. People who say they can are not really practicing, because it's the blood of our ancestors that hit the soil. And
I would never cross that line. Like I respect. I loved, any chance I got to go to New Orleans, like I was there, and that's where I started learning about the culture.
Well, now voodoo is a little bit different. Like I do know I do know a lot of white people who participate in voodoo, which is a little strange, but okay. White people who participate in hoodoo, I don't understand. Literally, they don't understand. Like anybody who's not Black who participates in hoodoo does not understand. No.
So let me challenge you on something for a second, since we're going down this topic.
Sure. Yeah.
Because, and this is, how do you feel? Have you ever seen the movie Skeleton Key?
No.
Okay. So maybe you won't be able to get this, but I was actually offended watching this movie because it was, talking about a hoodoo priestess and priest,
Right.
and they had the ability to stay young by draining life force from people. But they were portrayed by white people in modern culture. And I was like, I just felt like it was so disrespectful. And at first it used to be one of my favorite movies because, sorry, spoiler, but the good girl loses on this one. But after seeing the disrespect to the culture, I was like, I don't know anymore. I don't know if I can
Yeah,
support
that's
this.
disrespectful. Like honestly, and so I see Miss You say that voodoo is supposed to be white magic. So there's no. So Miss Use, let me tell you right now, and especially in Black spirituality, there is white and black magic, but it's not like one spirituality is one and one spirituality is another. It's there are combinations. It's just like every other as above so below type of thing. There are spirit worlds where you can access but hoodoo itself is working with the land, working with what's around to either curse or heal. If you want, like hoodoo, just like anything else, you can throw curses, you can throw hexes, you can also heal. That's what it is. It's working with the earth to heal, and then if necessary, to hex. Voodoo is the same way, but it is drawing down spirits so that they ride you, and this is voodoo or voodoo, as it's actually spelled voudon in Africa. Voodoo, and so yeah, the whole voodoo is white magic thing. I'm not really sure where that came from. The person who grew up in Louisiana may not have actually been part of voodoo, and not actually understood from the inside as opposed to what is shown to people on the outside. I do know that from Ifa, people tend to think it's scary, and it's not. It is there are elements that Americans will be squeamish about. I'm not going to lie. And let me back up. That is the reason why I may stop, because I'm a little squeamish about it too. Not going to lie. Because I am the one who's supposed to do this. I am supposed to host a get together in the United States, and I am thinking very heavily about not doing this.
Well, yeah. You brought up a really good point there because, and again, just to educate the audience a little bit here, most practices teach, good, bad, and then what we call gray. Like I'm a gray witch. Yeah. And part of me being a gray witch is not even necessarily my fault, but it is because of the darkness that I have gone through in life that has marked me with that grayness. And that has left me with a place where I know good and evil, but I still choose to do good with my life.
Right.
And, we're also, if you are, most practicing witches will also hold themselves to the rule of three, which I think Christianity could take a note from. But, whatever we project into the universe, we have an understanding that the universe can send that back to us in a threefold. And actually had it happen not too long ago. I was playing with the little magic, and I did my own little ceremony with a friend in a graveyard, and I had a horrible chemical, what was physically manifesting as a chemical burn, but it lasted for over a month, but didn't even leave a scar.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, right under here, this whole area was just raw for a month.
Oh,
But
okay.
I obviously, and I know what I did. I didn't do my circle right when I was starting, so I didn't
Right.
show my
Okay.
proper respect.
Yeah. Let some
But
of the spookies in.
it was a learning experience.
Right. Right. Um, yeah. It is hard for people who do not practice these spiritualities to understand, the nuance, um, and the depth that goes into it. The way you have to enter trance states, in order to um, to walk between the worlds, and it's not even that, but the raising of energy, the understanding of energy, the directing of energy. And there are people who can do this naturally. As a matter of fact, let me back up. Everybody can do this. This is not some type. There are people who have more, like, are more gifted, yes, but everybody has the ability to do one of the voyances.
Yep.
Clairaudience, clairvoyance. All these clairsentience. I don't remember the other ones, but
Divination.
yeah, well, everybody can do. You can learn divination. Like, divination is not something people intuit divination because they're intuitives. There are psychics. I've worked with a lot of psychics. I know a lot of psychics. But I know that you can learn how to use cards too.
Yeah, and I was having this conversation with actually it was on my friend's Facebook page for his show, because Jason at the radio station, he has a show called Hassling the Paranormal, and he was specifically talking to the witchy audience, and he was like, are you born with it, or do you learn it, or both? And I called it out. I was like, both. Like, yeah, some of us are naturally inclined, but anybody can learn it, because we all come from the same energy.
Right. And that I think people who are like naturally inclined do not like to hear that. They're like, well, and I'm like, well, no, I mean, it's like,
okay, so go humble yourself. I don't know, maybe it's being trans. Like, look, all right, get this shit every day. Like, I don't care. Like, join the club.
Right. Cool. Right. So let's now switch. We are gonna do fuck, marry, swipe.
This sounds fun.
This is going to be fun. So y'all know fuck, marry, swipe. In the chat, we have a set of 3 people, and you have to either fuck one, swipe on the other, and marry the other. Let me pull up my page so that I can get ready to look at some of these. Okay. So do you want to go first with yours? You have to do 3. Oh, no, I have to keep that one. Let's see.
It's your show. Let's see how much you can catch me off guard with this.
Okay. So the first one is Dominic from Youngblood.
Okay, hold on.
And that's YUNGBLUD. He's the lead singer.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Okay.
That's definite.
Hold on. We got to go through the others. The next one is Kesha.
What's her style like now? I have been out of that for a while. I know she talks to ghosts too, supposedly.
Oh, does she?
She actually wrote a song about it.
Really? I didn't know that. Okay, so Kesha. So we got Kesha, Youngblood, and Madison Bailey.
Madison Bailey. Why is that one so? Oh. Okay, and it is fuck, marry, swipe, right?
Right. And just to let you know, all of these people are pan.
Okay.
Some of them are non-binary, but all these people are pan. So let me just let the chat know again. It's Youngblood, which is like the lead singer's name is Dominic, but people know him. They call him Youngblood. Kesha, who's the American singer, not songwriter, singer. And then Madison Bailey, who played in Outer Banks.
So I would have to swipe Kesha. Sorry.
Okay.
Like her music, but
yeah.
Youngblood's gonna be a hookup.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna get in trouble with them. Like totally. I can't live the rock star lifestyle. Like I've already like put my body through hell and back. So yeah, I'm gonna have to marry Bailey or Madison Bailey.
Okay. You know, I think we're probably on the same path on that one. Actually, just completely on the same one. I don't even have to say it yet. We're same. Yeah. Not going to even deal with anything else. Like Youngblood would just be a fuck. Yeah, that would be it. Okay, so next one, Asia Kate Dillon. Sandra says a man named Youngblood lives on your back porch. Huh? Is a man lives on your back porch named Youngblood? I don't understand.
Yeah. It was Asia Kate Dillon, right?
Right.
Okay.
Asia Kate Dillon. Let me pull them up. Asia Kate Dillon. Okay. So we have Asia Kate Dillon. The next one is going to be Brendan Urie. And Brendan Urie is Brendon. Next last name is Urie. Do you know? I guess you know Brendan Urie. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we have Asia Kate Dillon, Brendan Urie, and Demi Lovato.
I'm ready when you are.
No, go ahead. I'm just waiting for you.
Yeah. Demi Lovato is a definite swipe.
Yeah. Okay.
They are way too back and forth in life. Like, I don't need that energy.
Right. Yeah.
Again, Brendan Urie. I've had a crush on since first time I saw them.
Okay.
I would still have to say that would be my fuck because I don't know, just Asia's look, their eyes.
Yes.
Like I get trapped in their eyes.
Yeah. So we are again 100% on that one together. Yeah, Asia I would marry, Brendan fuck, Demi swipe. Yeah, I just can't. I am not big on Demi at all.
There are I think there's like 2 of her songs I like, but she is just, or I don't even know where they're at. I'm just gonna go with they, but you know, it's
I think it's they or she. Yeah, I think they use they, she. No.
I don't want to like discredit somebody's experience, but when you do that in a social setting like that, it it challenges our cause. Like,
Wait,
she has
what do
been
you mean?
just in her own life, she's been all over the board, and there have been accusations made that she's doing it for publicity as far as her identity, and like, I don't know, it's a challenge.
Well, I would hope that she's not doing it for publicity, and I would hope that she's doing it in the spirit of trying gender and seeing what works and what doesn't work, because that's okay, and I
Right.
would,
If that's the case, that's amazing. But
right.
it's just, there's been multiple accusations in Hollywood that behind the scenes, that it's clout.
Oh, well, okay. I'll call them out of that respect, but yeah, that's shitty. Okay, so next one, Janelle Monáe, Cara Delevingne. Okay, Janelle Monáe, Janelle, last name Monae. Janelle Monáe. The next one, Cara Delevingne. Do you know? Have you seen her?
That one is not ringing.
Okay,
hold on. Oh wait, they were in Suicide Squad.
I don't know. They're the ones with the bushy eyebrows, though. That's what they're known for. Yeah, they were in Suicide Squad. Yeah.
Who were they in Suicide Squad? I'm confused. Sorry, I need 2 seconds.
Yeah, oh no, take your time.
I'm like, this will haunt me.
This is good because she is queer and pansexual.
Oh, they were Enchantress. Wow.
And they dated like Angel Hayes. They've dated a lot of really like pretty high class women, or not even women, high class non-binary people too. Yeah.
I am accepting applications.
Okay, so that's the second one. We had Janelle Monáe, Cara Delevingne, and Wayne Brady.
Wow. That makes my choice really freaking hard. I love Wayne Brady. Sorry.
Yes.
I've been in entertainment for like 20 years, and I started with high school acting, improv, and Whose Line. I've watched probably every episode of Whose Line.
So that means you definitely like Wayne Brady.
I mean, he's the best at it. I mean,
he really is. Yeah.
Colin's a close second, but I got to give Wayne first place.
No.
Okay, so man, this is a really hard choice. So Janelle Monáe, like, I just don't know her. Okay. So I have some homework to do.
Yeah. Janelle Monáe is huge, actually. They have put out a series of albums that tell a story. Okay. They are Afro-futuristic type, R&B type, rock type, like mix type stuff like that. They are non-binary. Wait, let's see. Who is this? Janelle Monáe? Yeah, I think they're non-binary. They are pansexual, of course. Wouldn't have made it on this list if they weren't. Yeah, but they're pretty cool. But so what are we going to say? Janelle Monáe, Cara Delevingne, Wayne Brady. Hey, Ivy, Jane. Where's Miss Hughes? Is Miss Hughes in there? Maybe Miss Hughes popped out for a bit. Hey, Joe.
So I'm going to have to swipe, as much as I hate to say this, I'm going to have to swipe Wayne Brady.
Okay.
Honestly, I would probably end up fucking Cara, because just the enchantress vibe, and being a witch myself. Yeah, there's a vibe there.
Right.
But no, Janelle, like I was looking at their information, some of their comments, like, no, that would be positive energy I would be all about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. I don't know. Like I have a feeling. Yeah, we'll probably be the same on this one too. Swipe left on Wayne Brady. Thought Cara or Kara. And Mary Janelle. No, that's yeah. So that is 1, 2, 3. Let me mark out these people. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Madison Bailey. So let's pull up Madison Bailey really quickly. Wait, did we do Madison Bailey already?
I feel like we did.
Yeah, let's see. I didn't. Yeah, we did. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay. The last 3 I have on this page: Mae Whitman, Mae Whitman was in Parenthood, Hope Floats, Good Girls, The Duff. Oh, she's the one who was in The Duff. Okay.
She was a little girl in Independence Day. That's crazy.
Oh, okay. She was in Independence Day. I've never seen Independence Day.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, she was the president's daughter in Independence Day.
Okay. So she is Pan. So we've got Mae Whitman, we've got Lady Gaga, and we've got this person named Rose or Roes, Roes. Let me make sure. I don't know, because all I'm getting is roses. Let me put in Rose, Roes, person.
New Zealand, South Korean singer, songwriter.
Yes. Okay. No.
Because that's what I'm pulling up is K-pop, or I think she's K-pop.
Is she Pan?
Give me 2 seconds.
Because if she's not Pan, there she is. Doze person, Blackpink members.
Yes. Road. Oh wait, no. Rose has never publicly disclosed her sexual orientation.
Okay, so we're gonna just scratch her out completely, and this is good because I have one more person, Tessa Thompson. So Lady Gaga, Mae Whitman, Tessa Thompson. Yes. The trials and tribulations of having to pick one person.
Sure it can't be Polly?
Yeah, not for this game.
So I had to swipe. It's down to Gaga and Tessa.
Okay.
Normally I would say Gaga, but you brought up Tessa, and like
Tessa, yes.
That energy
Tessa.
she gives off when she's
Right.
Valkyrie,
Right.
like melt a girl's heart.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I guess me and Gaga are gonna be freaks in the sheets, and I'm marrying Tessa. So
Okay. So this is the one where we're going to split for the
okay,
first time. Um, I am swiping left really hard on Lady Gaga.
okay,
Really hard. I am going to fuck Mae Whitman and I am going to marry Tessa Thompson. Yeah. Bye, learner. Thank you so much for coming in. Have a good night or day. I don't know where you are, so it still could be early your time. It's 7:11 my time, which is 7:11. Okay, 7:11, 7, 8, 9. 9 is the number. Do you ever break down numbers?
I don't really get into patterns like that. I mean,
Okay.
but also Visions is a full-time job in itself.
Right. That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So I've kind of like I have lots of friends that are into numbers. Like
okay. So I do break down numbers quite a bit. I do it in my head now. Like I was just counting there, but for some reason I do it in my head. I've been tripping up on number 8 recently. I've been getting a lot of 8s. So
isn't 8 completion?
No, 9 is.
Or 9 is.
That's my life path number is number 9.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, 8 is supposed to be like it's almost like 8 is an infinity sign just flipped over, and it's supposed to be that you are pushing correctly towards your path. Your path is opening up for you. You know, it's being laid out, and you just have to have the means to walk to it and through it.
Okay.
I don't know. It seems to be popping. Like in terms of my IFA, I'm going through a lot of spiritual passage now. A lot of passage spiritually. So it's feeding me a lot of energy. Let me put it to you like that.
Yeah, I just got done with a transformative moon on a planet alignment, so I feel you on like the power and the energy overload. Like,
yeah.
I joke with my friend. I'm like, I have a barrier at my door as soon as I walk into my room. Okay, like
100%, 100%. This entire room, this entire room, because I've got my altar over here. Nobody fucks with my altar. Nobody can come in this room until I'm like, yeah. I don't
see.
Like
that's why I don't want to get into coven work because, like, I'm working with this one person and I really like them as a person, but they want to use magic for everything, and I'm like,
no, it doesn't need to be right.
I love days where I can just be me and turn it off for a day.
Right.
Like, go to the water, enjoy the beach, do something. Like,
right.
You don't have to be tuned into it 24/7.
Right. And unfortunately there are people who are, I know intuitives that like try to shut it down but can't. Unfortunately those are I know like a lot of, and I don't know how you are on this, but I know a lot of psychics I know are prone to suicide, very much so.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, right. Because
very much so.
And we kind of talked about this offline. I don't want to dive into a lot of trauma, but with the trauma I've seen and gone through in life, like I found that when I ignore my calling, I pay for it.
Right.
Like I didn't want to take a message the other night and then ended up instead dealing with the 30-minute flashback.
Oof. Okay.
And that's something I've noticed being psychic, and it sucks.
Right. Go ahead.
in a lot of ways, we don't get to turn it off.
Right.
It's a numbing effect when I walk into my room, but I still feel it.
Right. So yeah, now that in terms of energy work, because what I tell people, I am not an intuitive. In other words, I do not get the full picture in front of me ahead of time, but I can definitely feel shit and I read energy, and that it's clairsentience. And it's something that through trauma, that it's unfortunately, and this is what I know too about a lot of psychics and a lot of intuitives, that trauma has built this empathic strength and the development of these powers. I don't know how else to say powers. I mean, but but yeah, there's a lot of trauma involved.
Every psychic I know, same story. And we the ones I know, we kind of joke about it behind the scenes, and we're like, well, it's the universe making us earn that responsibility of that gift, because I mean, it is a responsibility.
It is definitely a responsibility. Yeah, it's definitely a responsibility. Like I said, it's one that I take seriously. Like I have to differentiate between if I'm hearing voices, or if I'm hearing like what I'm knowing.
Oh, I can't even tell you, because like my gift, I'm pretty sure, like really kicked off when I had a near-death experience. I flatlined five times at one point because of a suicide attempt.
Okay.
I was brought back. I mean, I remember feeling like the warmest blanket I'd ever been into or wrapped up in, and then I heard this booming voice, and it was insane because this was in my old life, but it called me by my real name, and it was like, Autumn Rose, wake up.
Oh, cool. You were like, okay.
I came out of it almost instantly. Like, they were originally telling my friends and family I was going to have brain and liver damage and I was not going to come back. And 3 days later, I woke up and everybody was confused because I was sitting there having normal conversations with them, but they couldn't understand what I was saying.
Oh, okay. Were you speaking in a different language, or?
Oh yeah, it was definitely what Christians would call talking in tongues.
Talking in tongues, yeah.
I was literally just having a conversation with them, and they had no clue what I was saying.
Right.
And I know that was a pattern because it still happens to me today when I'm really channeling.
Okay, yeah, that would make sense, especially if you're channeling. Yeah, that would definitely make sense.
That was kind of my initial awakening, and also an amazing validation for being trans, because to hear like what I would call the source or God or whatever call me by my actual name to wake me up.
Right. So I have a kind of story similar to yours in that I was in a state where my parents and my family and Egg was with me, but they were all called to my bedside because they thought I was going to die. I was in ICU, and I heard a voice, and it just said, "Wake up," and I was like, "Boom!" And like this breath came into me so quickly, like because I couldn't breathe. I wasn't breathing on my own. And then like the breath came into me. So when I say so fast, I don't think people understand like the nature and the speed and the velocity. I can't pick out the right words, but it was life-giving again. I was just like, it was almost like Pulp Fiction, where they stabbed the epinephrine and Herman. Yeah, it was almost like that. And I was like, fuck. And Ed can tell you all about it. It was crazy. Yeah. But
that is That is really interesting. Like, it's so amazing to meet other people. I've met so many practitioners that have had similar stories with the near death and just their awakening. And when I laugh about it because that was like my last actual attempt, and not going to say I haven't struggled with it. I struggle with it every day.
Every damn day. Yeah.
My last attempt was 13 years ago.
That's good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's good. That's really good. I wish I could say that, but
trust me, there are days when I am freaking barely holding on. But
right.
I've kind of also learned in life that if the universe isn't ready to let you go, you're not going anywhere.
Right. That's the lesson learned, is you can try all you want to, but you're not going to succeed until, the universe is ready for you to succeed. And if you do succeed, something's going to happen, that's the thing.
Right. Yeah. Oh, we're not even talking about consequences. That's a whole other topic.
Right. So, but it's the whole spirituality, the whole psychic ability thing is very interesting to me. The whole quantum physics and quantum mechanics thing is extremely interesting to me, and I can tell already that you want to talk about it, so let's do it.
Oh, we can just touch on it, but okay. I use that as an education tool for a lot of people that want to look at me weird when I say I'm a witch, and I'm like, well, actually, I can prove a lot of my belief in science and quantum physics. How about you?
Right. Exactly. Can you prove anything you're saying?
Right. I'm like, do we want to have this conversation? Because, oh my gosh, like it was so funny. Like my parents pretty much cried when I went to a secular college, because I was supposed to go to Liberty University, but my ass I couldn't afford that shit. I'm glad I couldn't. But they're like, oh, you're going to fall to the world, this and that. And oh yeah, I fell because, like, let me tell you, my first English class, my third English class, first, in 101.
Right.
It took me 3 times to get through that because I have dyslexia. And my first 2 professors were just rigid. And finally I went on, and I swear I spent like 8 hours on Rate My Professor. Like, I have to find a good professor. I cannot do comp again. I will quit college. And I walked into this class, and he was so cool. Like, I went up and I gave him, because in college, when you have dyslexia and things like that, you have a IEP form. So I gave him my IEP, and I told him, I was like, look, I'm good with coming up with ideas. I suck at grammar mechanics. Okay.
Right.
And he's like, if you can put an idea on the paper, I will help you with the mechanics.
See, and that's the kind of professor I need.
Oh my gosh. He challenged us every day. Every day we walked into that class, and we had to watch. This was my introduction to John Oliver as a young Christian experiencing the world for the first time. I had to write John Oliver every English class.
Okay.
And that was my inspiration for journalism. Actually, I loved how John Oliver could put humor in it and still, not be biased, just report the story.
Right. Okay.
And that eventually got me into what I do now. So
nice. So for the people who don't know, what do you do now?
So you can look me up online, Stories from a Trans Witch, pretty easy. It's on KXRW.FM out of Vancouver, Washington, 99.9. And we are a nonprofit, independent, progressive radio station. And I have a show on there. So that's how I started with my platform. I kind of, I just now getting into the podcasting thing. So I guess I did everything backwards.
Well, so I started out writing, and then like all of a this live thing, and I was like, let me try it, and I was like, this is kind of fun. I have fun with my lives because I honestly I don't know a lot of times I don't know the people I'm talking to, and so I'm not as intimidated. I did briefly look you up, briefly, very briefly. So I don't know what I'm getting into when I'm talking to you. Just like I didn't know what I was getting into when I was talking to Samantha. Just like I didn't know what I was getting into when I'm going to talk to Will. These people with like high degrees and shit.
And see, I think that's the advantage to podcasting, because I was so rigid coming out of radio and going into podcasting, because again, you have to be so scripted on the radio, because you're watching what you say so you don't offend the FCC.
Right.
Where's my commercial break? And am I on time? So, and I noticed it with Samantha. We were talking about it, when we were behind the scenes. But our first couple of episodes, like, I was really rigid. I wanted a script, and now I'm just getting to the vibe of, okay, we're on a podcast. We're just BSing here.
Right. Yeah. And that's really, to me, the best way to do it. Like, when we get in the waiting room, we'll talk a little bit about what we want to do, but, or which direction we want to go in, or beforehand, and then we just let it go and let it flow.
And see, I try to do the same thing with my radio show. It's a little challenging because I deal with a lot of politics and, community activism. So normally I'm interviewing somebody to get their cause out there. So I have a limited amount of time. I normally research their organization, I'm not going to back them if I don't believe in them.
Right. 100.
But I still try to have that connection before we go on the air. Like, I always like to sit down and like, hey, let's just go outside and talk for a few minutes. Or, I met one person at the Underbar.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, let's go have a drink.
Let's go have a drink. Let's chill. Let's talk. Yeah, I do like that. But I also, so I have Will be. You were the first person. Well, no, Samantha was the first person I talked to that I didn't know. You were the second person that I talked to that I didn't know, and Will be the third person. Okay, I'm just going to stop lying. Everybody that I've talked to, I didn't know before I talked to them, because I am new on Substack. So, I don't know anybody, but I know, it's so nice. Wendy the Druid, I don't know if you know her, brought me into their little circle, all of her little friends. And now I've met Joe and Miss Hughes and all these people in here. Luca, Sandra's in here a lot. Lerner, all these people that show up all the time. And I like this, these are people who will participate in the conversation. Sometimes a lot. Miss Hughes is one of the people who does quite a bit, especially when anything spirituality, psychic comes up. Because Miss Hughes and I kind of connect. We have a connection somehow, and I'm not 100% sure how it is, but she is sure. She's known me in a past life. Me. So I don't know.
When you're connected like that, you're connected like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, but I think now it's almost an hour and a half. Might be the time to stop.
Sounds good to me.
For the evening, I would love to do this again if you want to.
This was so much fun. I honestly loved it. So
yeah. So what's fun is bullshitting about the occult, about being psychic. I love this.
I was just griping with Samantha about that the other day. I was like, I don't ever get to talk about magic on my show.
Well,
I'm the trans witch.
Well, then we'll definitely have to do it again, and we'll talk more magic. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you again for having me on. I loved it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I always do this closing. It's called No Trash, No Transphobia, No Racism, No Ableism, No Sexism, No Homophobia. I also add in no Islamophobia, no xenophobia, no borders, land back, reparations, fuck Trump, and fuck ICE. And with that, I say good night, y'all. Thank you so much, Autumn.
Thank you.
Bye.